4 intense weeks
to make
10 incredible books
about 2 important ideals:
peace and equality.
What peace means to me is understanding.
Learning to coexist with other people's differences.
The fact that some people have more or less resources than others, different abilities in different situations, and therefore require different supports for equal access.
2020 has been such a challenging year, both globally and here in the United States. So for our first book publishing project in the country where we're headquartered, we at Room to Read really wanted to focus on hope. Specifically, we wanted to support diverse book creators to collaborate on hopeful books. Books that wouldn't shy away from the active side of peace and equality. Books that would share these ideals with creativity, compassion, and even a sense of humor.
Building peace doesn't have to be stopping a war or ending world hunger. It can be the little things that we do.
To begin, we knew we would replicate the cornerstone of our publishing programs around the world. We would offer mentorship opportunities to new children's book creators whose voices have been underrepresented. We shared the project application in places where we knew diverse creators would look, in partnership with We Need Diverse Books and other similar organizations. We were thrilled with the talent of the creators who answered the call.
This was the very first project in the United States that Room to Read has done. And so diversity was really important for us to define as broadly as possible. Working in other countries, we often make books with creators from those countries. And of course, diversity looks really different in other parts of the world. And America has the most amazing mix of people from all walks of life. And so we wanted to make sure that we were inviting people to be a part of the Peace and Equality Project that would be as representative as possible. Veteran status, socioeconomic status as well, age, neurodiversity, which is a diversity that's often overlooked, ability or disability. All of these pieces we wanted to make sure were put into the Peace and Equality book collection.
With inspiration from our South African friends at Book Dash, where they make books in 12 hours, we stretched our book sprint to a month. And what a month it was.
Usually working in publishing, working in kids' books, it could take a year to do a picture book. It could take 2 years. It could take longer.
Often the writer and the illustrator don't even meet during the project.
We get to really work together in all aspects of it and see each other's thought processes.
It never felt like I was doing the work alone.
I also had a greater team, the Room to Read team as well, to fall back on if, our team or I needed any additional help too.
The stories will be available to everyone anywhere, and they don't have to buy the books. I was so thrilled. I felt this is the wave of humanity and the future, that a child doesn't have to afford a book in order to read a book.
These were the first books that Room to Read made for our free online platform, Literacy Cloud. This meant that we could publish and distribute the books really quickly. We do ultimately plan to share the books with children in print, as we believe that interaction with physical books is critical for new readers. But for now, anyone with an internet connection can access them.
So working on the book sprint process was intense. You're crafting characters, you're making a world, a story. You are immersing your readers in an entire environment and place within 1 month.
The pressure and the time constraint made for a more creative project. I just had to get it done and I had to focus, and I think that brought out the best in me.
I felt so proud of it. I finished 24 illustrations in 4 weeks.
What these creators managed to do in a timeline so very different from traditional publishing blew us away. These books are wonderful, period. And for books developed in 4 weeks, they're astonishing.
It's a marvel that all these books were dreamed up, discussed, drafted, edited, sketched, and polished into what you see now in only 1 month.
Our book, Across the City, is about two students who are struggling with online learning for different reasons, but are able to find a connection to each other through letter writing and storytelling.
I hope that children who are what we call neurodiverse recognize some piece of their lives in Izzy and are proud of how she handles herself in the story.
I wrote this particular book because I'm also a civil rights attorney, and I know the importance of ensuring that everyone is counted in the U.S. Census. It's making sure that all voices are heard, and voices can be heard by being counted.
I really wanted to focus on the idea of community and how there's always a collection of people that are so different, but every person in that community plays a role in making the group stronger.
We took the typical story surrounding an introverted child and we flipped it. We didn't want her to feel like she had to change or become more extroverted to feel happy or be accepted.
The inspiration behind Mya's Backyard Jungle is rooted in my own experiences as a Montagnard growing up in North Carolina in an immigrant multi-generational household. Growing up as a Montagnard, I didn't really see myself reflected in the books that I was reading. I really wanted this book to be a way for people to learn about Montagnards and the Montagnard experience in the US, but also for Montagnards to feel heard, seen, and represented in the words that I was saying.
This, and I'm not exaggerating, has been the best experience of these COVID times. I'm so grateful you brought all of you so much joy, so much beauty to my world here in my office.
Being a part of this project has been fantastic, specifically because I miss seeing diverse representations of different folks and different stories as a kid. And it was so great to just fully delve into an Own Voices story that where like the Own Voices was a big part of it, but it wasn't like the part. It never felt tokenistic. It just felt authentic.
I appreciate the unsuspected validation that I received from just being asked to be a part of the project. I had no idea the level of boost and self-confidence that would give me.
Usually we are the only ones in the room that, are from where we are, we look how we look. And so usually like our voice is the last to be heard. But because here it was just pure heart and we just did it and there was trust, like you guys trusted all of us that we know what we're doing. We just haven't had the chance to do it.
We can't wait for children, families, and teachers to enjoy these books.
I hope that all of you enjoy reading and sharing these special books. Thank you so much and happy reading.